Hi and welcome to my channel. This is a little place where I like sharing my insights, and there's always so much to talk about, and I love doing this. Because there is so much to talk about, and it's amazing how many ways we can say what we're pointing to and do it in a creative way. But today I am talking about how to navigate shit creek. I hope that language doesn't offend you, but this is a euphemism in the States that we use called "you're up shit creek without a paddle." This is the doomsday kind of stuff. What is this shit creek? How do we navigate it? And what do we mean by it? So if you're trying to navigate shit creek, I'm going to show you, and you don't need a paddle. It does stink, but there's a way out. Stick around. There's several ways to express this sentiment. I'm up shit creek without a paddle. I'm in between a rock and a hard place. This is the idea where it feels like your circumstances won't budge. And everything seems to have closed in or built up around you. And there is nothing you can do. Nothing you can do. How many times have you been in that situation? I can remember so many times where options were not available to me. When my best friend was in the hospital, it was so gut-wrenching. You know what I mean? You want to do something, you know? God! The news kept getting worse and worse and worse. They threw the book at him, and he died. There was nothing we could do. And so when we find ourselves in that situation, it can feel like the situation itself is on life support. You know? Like, it seems hopeless. It's like an infestation, a contagion. Like death has come. And it stinks. And what you thought you were navigating and doing and controlling puts you in this situation where your hands are tied. And it gets really intimate, like even your own circumstances. Money dries up, resources dries up, opportunities dry up, people abandon you. I mean, it is weird to be up shit creek without a paddle. But what I would suggest is to stop paddling or thrashing. See, this is the thing that a lot of people don't understand about circumstances, is that they will close in on you and get so tight and so impassable. You will become like those three brothers in the Old Testament, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they got thrown into the oven. Why? They wouldn't bow down to Nebuchadnezzar's golden rod. You see. But they got thrown into the oven. Like Daniel. Daniel got put in the lion's den. And because Daniel and the three brothers were so calm and submissive, their circumstances didn't burn them up. The lion didn't need Daniel because he wasn't a fighter. He didn't cause the fear and the rage to rage up in the lions, you see. So these characters didn't fight back. Many heroes in the Old Testament who practiced this turn the other cheek sort of thing came out squeaky clean, even though they were, and they looked like they were up shit creek without a paddle. And so my suggestion to you is to give way. To do not fight your circumstances. Do not resist them. Do not go around begging people to help you. See, anytime you turn towards others to beg for money, to couch surf, to get you out of these sticky and stinky situations, you are only prolonging the inevitable truth that you haven't dealt with your innate potency. You haven't dealt with your ingenuity. The very thing that you can rely on is yourself, and yourself is not a thing. Yourself is this up to the minute creative genius that will give you the resources, the ideas, the creative juice to get yourself out of the sticky situation that you had an implicit involvement in. So when you're up shit creek and it looks like everything is piling up against you, everybody's against you, the money situation is dismal, the health is dismal, I mean, it will put you in this, what I call the irreducible state. I think I got that from Alan Watts. This is where your hands are tied, your mouth is shut, your eyes are shut. It's like Coffin City. The only thing you can do is breathe. Take a conscious breath. Stop flapping, thrashing, crying, calling up your friends, pacing up and down the hallway. The only way through shit creek is right through the middle. Right through the oven. Right through the lion's den. Right through the valley of dry bones. All of the scary, dark places. That's exactly how you navigate it. And you come out squeaky clean because those circumstances are not bossing you around. And you are not bossing them around. Daniel didn't get in the lion's den and command the lion. The three brothers did not find a secret passageway through the oven. That metaphor, that mythology, that story symbolizes the detachment of you, the invisible presence through a circumstance that can't get you. You see? Your circumstance can't get you. You're ahead of that. You're invisible. One of the things that helps me is to know that I am not a solid thing. The body is a pattern of molecules and a pattern of behaviors and a recognizable pattern of changing particles. You might want to think of yourself like a university or a country. A university is a changing pattern of people and buildings and faculty and staff. The university I used to teach at was not the same university it was when I started 15 years ago. Yet it's the same. But if you look at the makeup, the composite of it, whole new faculty, all new president, all new deans, and some familiar faces, but the genetic makeup of a university, including all the new buildings and the things they've torn down, is a living, breathing conglomeration of movement, like a whirlpool. And that's what we are. We are a whirlpool with an invisible center that sort of spin out and fluctuate circumstances around us. So you're a pattern of molecules, a pattern of atoms, and a pattern of particulates, but you are mainly energy, invisible, living, still, open energy. And once you align with the consciousness that you are, you can get through anything. Because you'll become that. You'll become invisible. Just awareness. Many of us, including me, suffer from an illusion that we have a piece of consciousness that is independent from consciousness itself. That this is my brain, my thoughts, even my words, my actions, and my problems. None of your circumstances are really yours in a possessive sense. There's no such thing as intellectual property. There's no such thing as a private thought or an independent action. The whole thing is a pattern of movement, which, when you begin to sense that you don't live in the body, and that the individual is dissolved and disappears in the oceanic fabric of oneness, there's no longer my thoughts, my words, my wife, my house, my bank account, my supply of food. Suddenly, you have access to the entire thing. You become that. You become the supply, the everlasting supply, the everlasting source, the everlasting awareness, which is expressing itself in various and sundry patterns, which looks different. It looks like I'm a pattern of molecules that look different than you, but we're no different, and neither is the space between us, you see. So you have to align with the oceanic consciousness. And the Sh+t creek is just an acute sense that you are your problems and your circumstances, and you are not. You're bigger than that. You're more invisible than that. You're more powerful than that. You're more eternal than that. So your circumstances are temporary. You will outlive all that forever. You'll outlive the body too, because you're not in the body. You never were. The body is a projection or an expression of you in some way, yes. But you're not a free roaming agent, disconnected from the environment and from everything. You're not disconnected from supply. You're not disconnected from source. You're not a piece of independent consciousness. No such thing. I'll never buy that. So as you recover from the illusion of the individual self, you will not be fearful of your circumstances anymore. Even though they seem to rise up against you, everybody seems to be against you, it doesn't seem to be working. Oh, it's working all right. And some of the most incredible discoveries are made when you give yourself way to this shit creek, this water, this cesspool, where it's all sort of mixed up together. It does get clearer. But you got to go through some treacherous things called the shadow of the valley of death, where I shall fear nothing. You will not be harmed in these periods which look like they're rising up against you. You go with it. You don't fight it. Allow it to go out if it has to go out. Allow it to take its course if it has to take its course. But what you don't want is to let it overtake you. And you don't want to go around telling people how desperate you are. And you don't want to take actions that are desperate. Don't take actions that are fearful. Let your actions be calm. Your inner stillness will guide you right through the muck. And 99% of the time, if you consult that inner silence, it'll tell you, do nothing. See, people don't trust that. The silence is always saying, don't do anything. Be quiet. Don't touch it. Let the circumstances resolve on their own. Trust in the silence. But a lot of people think, I gotta do something. And that's what perpetuates the shitty circumstances that keep coming after you. It's when you turn the other cheek and become self-effacing. Allow these loose ends to tie up themselves in your higher consciousness, which is what's going to happen. Your higher self, which is you, will take care of it, but it's not going to be in a logical way. It's going to be in a surprisingly illogical way. So, those are my points for today. If you find yourself up shit creek without a paddle, stop thrashing. Give yourself to the water. Allow this to take its course without fighting it. Remain calm and submissive and take inspired actions. Take bold actions, not despairing, fearful, run around, what do I do? What do I do? Those kind of actions. Take quiet actions or take no actions at all, depending upon what I call it, up to the minute intuitive sense wants. The up to the minute intuitive sense often wants nothing. Obey that. Comply with that. Be calm and submissive with that greater understanding. The mind is never, ever going to solve your shit creek situation because it's producing it. Okay? So I hope that helps you, and thank you for watching. Please check out my blog, My Morning Motivator, or one of my books on Amazon. See you soon.